Welcome to the Barnsley Chronicle, where I'm joined by one of Barnsley's leading sportsmen in cyclist Jenson Young. Jenson, thanks for joining us, and some exciting news. You've got a busy year ahead of you.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. Yeah, so joined a new team and going to be racing gravel all around the world. So, yeah.
So, in terms of gravel bike racing, for people who don't know, tell us a little bit more about it.
Similar to road cycling, just wider tyres. Basically, what it says really is on gravel. Makes it quite hard to have races in the UK just because there's a lack of gravel tracks and stuff. So they're mainly in Scotland and Wales. So that's why most of the races are worldwide.
Yeah. So you're going around the world with this championship.
Yeah, it's all over. So.
Yeah. So how did that come about then? Obviously, I think you did well, didn't you, in gravel racing last year, and a bit of a surprise package.
Yeah, so I raced the gravel national champs. I was always a bit sceptical about gravel. It's quite a new thing, but did that. Just fancied doing it. Just one race and came fifth, and I was the first non-pro in the race at the time. And then the new team that I've just joined came along, and I couldn't really say no. I enjoyed the race, and like it's definitely something I wanted to do in future. So.
Mm-hmm. You were up against some big names, obviously the Swifts, obviously big names, and yeah, you held your own, didn't you?
Yeah, for sure. Connor Swift, local lad Doncaster, I think he won the race, and was with him most of the race, and got stuck in, was right at the front, so like couldn't have been happier really with that.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you've had a bit of a varied career as a cyclist. You had a spell on the road, didn't you, with St Piran as obviously a road cyclist, and then cyclocross seems to be something you've always done well in as well.
Yeah, started mainly doing cyclocross, and I think I just sort of did both, and I have done well on both. I've got good results on both cross and road, but I think the off-road stuff, the cyclocross stuff is what I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
And I think gravel is the mix of them both, so it's ideal really for me.
You started out early, didn't you, competing? Talk us through sort of from your early days, first getting on a bike to where you are now. It's been and obviously you're still a young man, but it's been a long time competing.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It feels like years ago now. I think I was 7 when I did my first race, and back then it was just as serious for me as it is now. I was taking every race serious, training after school, doing everything I could really, and it's still the same now. Not much has changed.
Yeah. So did you start out, was it mountain biking or road racing?
Cyclocross is what I started doing, and then started on a bit of road. When you're younger, road racing isn't really a thing. They're not going to send you on open roads as a kid, so it's more circuit races. But cyclocross, my dad used to do it, and watched him and got into it.
Yeah. Had a go at running as well. Obviously you had some good results. Your first ever park run, you won it, didn't you?
I won it, yeah.
At Lock Park?
Aye, yeah.
And probably upset a few of the seasoned runners, I think, this first time at turning up and beating them.
Yeah, I think so, and it's my first ever park run, and I don't think I'll be going back to Barnsley after doing it once. It's that hilly, but
everyone says it's the worst one.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously people might have seen you out and about in Barnsley. Obviously you do a lot of training here. What sort of routes do you take? Where might people have seen you?
Yeah, all my training around here, and if I've got in your way on the bike, then I apologise, but yeah, even cyclists annoy me sometimes when I'm sat behind in my car.
Yeah.
But all over the place really. I quite like riding up to Penistone, Way, Strimes, Peak District. They're sort of my favourite roads.
Mm-hmm.
Hilly, I tend to avoid going like Doncaster Way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always sort of gone up to the windmills near Penistone and Millhouse, and like always.
We seem to be in a good location for cycling training. Is that something you agree with?
Definitely, yeah, it's ideal. Easy to get onto the quiet roads. Hilly, which is ideal. Weather's sometimes not the best. Fair few potholes about, but no, it's good. It's really good, and I wouldn't want to live anywhere else really.
And for yourself and for sort of your casual cyclists, we're quite fortunate to have the Transpennine Trail, aren't we, right the way through Barnsley, so you can sort of hop on, hop off, and go off in any direction you are without upsetting anybody or getting in any trouble.
Yeah, no, I mean that's ideal, and especially now you can do most of it on a road bike as well. It's great, and for sure. I mean, I went on it today actually this morning. And, and it's perfect, especially if you just want a quiet ride, no traffic. Can't beat it.
In terms of people who've got Strava, so Strava's the app that you can record your your cycles on. You've got a few King of the Mountains locally.
A few, yeah.
Which ones are you most proud of?
I've got one up Cone Lane, which just goes from the bottom of Silkstone to Silkstone Common, and I think probably most proud of that one because a lad called Gabs Cullig, if you've heard of him, used to be a pro around here. He took it off me twice, I think,
Alright.
and I went back and took it off him. So it's like there was a bit of a battle, but it's not been disputed for a while. That one, I think.
Yeah. You're going to keep hold of that one.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a big cycling thing, isn't it, to have a King of the Mountain?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's got quite a lot now, but that's probably my favourite one. I did actually have one in favourite one. I got one in France, I think, coming down the mountain. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Because obviously, I mean, already in your career, you've been around the world, haven't you, competing? What sort of places have you been to?
Yeah, I've competed in a lot of countries and a lot of different events. I competed in China a few years back, which was pretty interesting. See the culture. Quite a lot of Europe. I've raced in America. But yeah, it's a lot of the time you don't get to see the country. It's straight in, straight out.
Yeah.
Looking at the wheel in front of you. So rarely get to see the place, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, it's nice travelling about racing in different places.
So obviously, just finally on your gravel and what's coming up this year, how are you preparing for it?
It's going to be a lot of hours training. Some of the races are up to 200 mile long, which is long. I've never done a ride that long before, so it's going to take a lot. But yeah, it's just, that's all I can say really. A lot of hard work, sort of behind the scenes.
Get in shape of your life for this, I guess.
Definitely, yeah, and it's full time, so I guess got nothing else to do apart from train. So.
And that's starting March time?
Yeah, the races start towards the end of March, so from then.
So we'll look out for them. Okay, Jenson, thanks for your time.
Great, thank you. Cheers.